Good day. Good day, gang. Hope everyone's doing good. I should be live. Yep. Right, let me just grab the old link and post it to the community once again. And let's bring up the chat at the same time. Look at me being efficient. I don't know. I don't know what to say there. Yeah, who cares? Alright. Hope everyone's doing good. Let me, there's the chat. Look at that. I almost did it in half the time. Just make sure everything's good. Yeah, okay, so everything seems to be working. Right, I am moving away from the Hello World program, finally. It's been long enough. And yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. We're gonna be working through a what is it called? So I want to get rid of this. So what have I been doing up to now? Not that much. I kind of got gummed up in the sense that I excuse me. I didn't exactly. You know, when you're programming and you kind of lose confidence and you start procrastinating because you're thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know if this will work, and I feel like effectively what I'm doing is stupid or something. And I just need to go for it, dude. I think. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, it's better than me just sitting on my hands, like, I don't know, watching YouTube videos about stuff that really doesn't matter. So it looks like to me all this code here is setting up bodies, as far as I'm familiar with. We are using a, what are they called again? Yeah, dynamic buffer addresses. Ugh. Have I forgotten what that is? Give me a minute. I think I'm right. Vulkan descriptors. Yeah, oh, sorry, buffer device addresses, sorry. For position, and we index into that position base with 2 layers of indirection, considering we have to pass in a pointer to an object. Sorry, a pointer to a buffer that lives on the GPU memory, and then we have to like index into that buffer individually to figure out what part of that buffer actually has the components for moving an object around in the shader. So we need to basically be able to, let's get rid of these as well. Actually, we need to actually destroy these bodies. In the code, we're actually going to be using them. So my entity now has a body ID, and I believe that is enough, assuming that I set it up with the right settings, to be able to do something with that entity, I believe. Just got to find the entities. Ah, okay. So right now we don't do anything with the entities. Oops. Shutting down wise. Because originally they were just like two integers that would just store the index into a buffer. So yeah, the first thing it's going to do is clean up our physics objects, and there we go. Entities. Nope, that's a 0. There we go. Body ID. And what was it? Need to destroy and remove. So that would be a physics object. Body interface, sure. I think also. I don't know. Do I care if we remove these all from the scene? We'll do it in the simplest way possible. Body interface. Remove. We see it by ID. And then destroy body. Is that it? Yeah. And then I'll remove all that stuff. Shut down the physics after the entities, otherwise we'll end up with a bunch of stuff trying to be deleted. That doesn't make sense, and sure, get rid of the rest. I'll comment them out for now because it's good to have a reference. So as long as this is active, I don't exactly know what's going to happen. I don't know if I need to. I think for now I'm just going to do the simplest approach and just see what happens. This may be completely inefficient where I don't want to update the physics every single frame, regardless if there's something moving or not. Okay, so there we go. I think we have that much done. And I think we're pretty close to actually getting something to do something. The only thing I need to do now is update the positions based on an index. So this is the tricky part. Is it the position or the velocity? I think I need to get the center of mass equal to the new position based on what current entity we're on. Which the entity matrix, I believe these are these match 1 to 1. So if I go entity, actually, this is not going to work. I need to convert it to a I dot body ID. So that's the body ID that we're actually interested in. How do you get the center of mass? I know this is in the body interface. Cool. Brilliant. Throw this in. And if you throw that in there, add the physics in. So yeah, the physics object where everything has to be an object because of how Jolt is written. And we should be getting out of that a vector, which, yes, that is a vector. This is just updating the translation, so it's not doing the whole thing, but so see if I can remember this off the top of my head. So this is JPG vec3. I'll say it new pos for now so it doesn't get any name collision. And this needs to be changed to a vec3s, which let's see actually what's in this thing. Is it just a bunch of floats? Because I might be able to just reinterpret cast the data, maybe? I don't know. If not, I can just get the individual components. Are they the actual types there? Floats. I assume that's for padding reasons they have 4. To string. Yeah, it looks like it. I know it. Yeah, okay, so yeah, okay, so it looks like to do operations on this you send in a vector, which just seems to be a list of floats. And there the values. How do you actually get at the values? I want to initially do this in the right way rather than... sorry, in the jolt way rather than convert everything immediately. So we can get the... Why are we using an intrinsic? Hi Ratchet. Why not use VK NV RTX DLSS 6 physics? Well, you know, I feel like if I'm using that feature, I'm gonna have to be putting I'm gonna be kneeling on the floor praying to the graphics card that things work. Yeah, I was thinking that actually. It's a little too complicated. This structure seems to be doing a bit more. I'm just kind of curious what that's about. Why is it... I can't imagine that matters that much. But anyway, yeah, I think for now it's very simple. We can just grab out the values. Do it as simple as possible. This... Why do OP people think that we need to be... Everything needs to be a function? Even in OPP land, sorry, a minor complaint. Even in OPP land, allowing members of a class to be public is fine if it doesn't invalidate the state of the object. This is a classic state where you cannot have a value for these floats that invalidates the state of the object. So these should be public. Yet they are not. Maybe I'm looking over the fact that it's a union. I don't know. But I still think that having get XYZ is kind of in the majority of the situations. Maybe I'm missing something, but I doubt it. I don't think XYZ is good at... Anyway. Let's go back to our thing and just do exactly what we're supposed to in without complaining. Although that's difficult for me. Right, so let's make a vec3, I guess. And new position. Now, new position is already around. Get rid of that for a minute. I should have copied. No, never mind. I think I can just construct get maybe threaded access. You need to have it all private. I don't know, to be honest. There could be other reasons, but meh. I'm just grumpy. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking that, yeah, it's got 4 values because it needs to be aligned for SIMD. Oh, is this not Vec 3s? I spelled position. I did spell position wrong. What did I spell? Wait, how do you spell position now? I'm confused. Sorry. Dyslexia is coming back to bite me. That's right, right? Yeah, with an I. Okay. I confused myself. Right, okay. Yeah. I really need to dive into... I won't do this on stream, like I said, but I'm definitely going to dive into SIMD. So we can speed up CPU bottlenecks. Anyway, so I'm updating every single position with this. Where's the update physics? I should likely be doing this before. Okay, so there's the update physics. I'm updating it every single frame. It's now one-threaded. I'm going to step through this and just see what happens. I'm accelerating towards another sphere with the size of 10. I don't know how big that is. I have literally no frame of reference for how big anything is. Because I don't really know what coordinate space is working with what, so... It has the same position as I set it over here. So this draw matrix has the same position and rotation as... Well, I guess it doesn't. Can't imagine that matters if I change it to 0, just for an identity. I know it's a 0 vector if you get the thing, but I can't imagine that's an issue. I'm not exactly sure how to get the quaternion out of this and into this. One is dynamic, it's the one we're moving. We're moving at a negative. I think that needs to be bigger, doesn't it? That needs to be like 200 or something. Then again, alignment loads doesn't even matter on modern 8086. Oh, really? On ARM, they kill you for not doing aligned loads. Yeah, I wrote some code in my introduction to performance when it came to SIMD. And this was the strangest thing I've ever seen. And you did this because of alignment, I think. Lane segment, whatever. What did I even write there? Maybe that's part of alignment. Very weird. But yeah, I have some familiarity. When I say some, I have very limited, actually. I should admit that. But I have started to learn this stuff. This is just some summation of a loop with SIMD. And it's unrolled as well, so it's technically... This is as fast as you can sum something on 8086, I think. In a loop. In an array. Without doing any... Without knowing anything beforehand, I think. Assuming that the array is small enough that it fits on the L1 cache. That's the other caveat. So that's why it's 4096. Anyway. Let's see. Right. Right, let's just see how the physics behaves. One of these days, 1 unit is 1 meter in most engines. Ooh. Redefinition. Ah, okay, yes. What if you can reset it? Right, I'm just going to say for now, just for laziness. I don't really know how the API works, so this is all temporary anyway, so we're not going to stick with this. Because when I use buffers, I like do a creation reset. It's not used. Potentially uninitialized. Yep. That will likely never happen there. Oh yeah, you've talked about that. Yeah, conversion from float 1632 to isn't there a new HDR type in Vulkan 1.3 that allows you to render into something that isn't that large? Like it's got like a weird size, but it's like HDR, so it's like fully HDR, but it's like I can't remember the numbers, but it's definitely got like a different number sequence than just 32, 32, 32, or 64, 64, 64, Or whatever HDR is anyway. Okay, it didn't explode. And my question is... Yep. Alright, yeah. I kind of know all this works. Okay. -2. Well, L2, I don't know what that is. Okay. Okay. That seems extremely small, but that does seem like movement will happen. Based on our buffer device address. I will just F5 one more time. F5, 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 F5. Okay. I'm just going to restart because we've paused the frame, and it kind of gets weird if you do that with physics. Okay. Free. Looks like I didn't shut down things properly. Okay, for now we'll leave that a minute. I kind of a bit more curious on what I need to do is push everything forward so it's immediately in view of camera, I think. And that would be Z. No, I'm using negative Z. So the smallest value is this. Sorry, negative depth. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not very well supported. Yes, I think that is it. It's like a strange format that's nicely holds all the HDR data, but like we can't render to it. Or back in 1.3 anyway. We couldn't render to it. I'm not exactly sure what the drivers are up to nowadays. So you're probably right with that. I only heard about it when I was listening to our cynical Vulkan talk about what's new in Vulkan 1.3. And he's lamenting the fact that people have said for a long time now that HDR is the new color format that everyone should be dealing with, but it's such a massive... it's so big, trying to do something with it. Whereas like we should be rendering to this other type that desktop GPUs can't really handle. Anyway, actually it doesn't matter, does it? I'll find out if it's wrong. I'm just going to go with the obvious. We're going to be moving everything 10 units of measurement, whatever that means, to the... And if that is not good, we shall see. 10 should be enough to see if it's further forward or backward. No, it's really... Wait, what? Where is everything? Huh. I guess that's way too far. That's suspicious. -1 then, I guess. -1. -1. And I just want to see if the physics is updating like a trillion times a second or something ridiculous. What? Why are you going down? Nice. Yeah, 60. I've seen even in the when I was really into learning about render passes, HDR even back then was recommended that you use 16 for HDR and then convert to 8 at the end. Right. Okay, I think this is way too large. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, to be honest, but... Why? Let's do this as 1, right? Maybe it's already been struck, you see? I don't know, I can't see. Yeah, so this is going to be... This stream is going to be a lot of just experimenting. And a lot of confusion. Okay, is it accelerating or is it just me? Where's the duck as well? That's the other thing. Negative. I'm applying linear acceleration to body 1. Oh, hang on. Whoa. Okay, I've really messed up here. Yeah, let's try. Let's add no acceleration to anything, and just see everything floating around space without any movement. Yeah, it shouldn't be updating the rock. It should be only updating the duck, but I don't even know where both are at the moment. Is Joel adding gravity to everything? This is marked as static. I don't know why it's moving. Static. My understanding is... Oh. Let's put it on the non-moving layer, right? That should make it stay still. A static moving object. I guess that's me. That would be infinite mass, right? No. Okay. Deactive? Do you make it inactive? It just seems a bit odd. Leaves in a state. I thought the difference between active and inactive is like they don't take part in the simulation. Activations. Leave activation state. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to look at the example again and see what happens. I think you're right, though. I think it is updating the gravity. I want it to not move, though. Oh. Okay. Where's the dog going? What the heck? Where are you going, dude? Well, one thing we can say, the physics simulation is doing something. I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing something. Literally no idea why. I assumed the initial position was to place it somewhere, right? Not to start its movement somehow. All right, let's okay. Very simple, 0, 0. Let's just see if anything moves. If we have no movement and everything's at 0, 0, right? We are updating the position of every single entity, every single frame, and updating the physics, but we are saying there is no movement, so there should be no movement. There might be something I'm misunderstanding. There's probably a lot of things I'm misunderstanding. I think that's the theme of this streams, honestly, but... Okay. So, we at least have... I assume the duck's inside. Okay. Cool. Back to sanity land. Right, okay, I should fix that at some point, but I'm kind of more excited about this. To be honest, Space Point, you picked space physics as your first thing to test. So you don't have to suffer. That's very true. I have no ground to bounce things off. Oh no. Maybe everything's working as intended. Newton's first law of motion and stuff like that. Right. Yes, it's okay. So the static non. Okay, let's just make sure I'm making the right decision here. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this for a minute. This is deciding what on entity should be what. So if 0, it's the rock. If it's 1, it's not the rock. So 0 is rock. Yeah, I shouldn't be doing it like this when I don't have randomness. The reason being is just a bit confusing. It's like, what is what? I'm completely fine with just kind of throwing these in as well. So position 1 is index 1, which is the... Actually, do I have it set up? Yeah. So I want the rock index. No, I want duck index, right? Duck. So this is the one. I want this to be duck, and I want the other one to be rock. Okay. Let's importantly change this to rock. Okay, so now we have two separate things. We are 100% sure that the first one is a rock, the second one is a duck. Then we need to make sure that the rock doesn't move, but the duck does. Wow, I'm sounding like an insane person saying these things out loud. Okay, so I want this to be a dynamic, I want this to be static, I want it to be non-moving. Here's the position. Sure, 0, 0 is fine. X, Y, Z. I would prefer this to be like 10 or something. Like, let's say, I don't know, 20? No, that would be twitching, right? Let's reduce the radius of the duck, right? I don't know how big the duck is. That's the... I'm really... Okay, 20, whatever, okay. I guess, right? So we've got 20. The sphere is very small, so what I don't want to do is basically I don't know where the radius is, so I assume this is the radius. Let's actually check, right? Is this the radius or the diameter? Yes, it's a shape. Okay, so it's the radius. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned if I make them both 10 that it's effectively like the area of the sphere is bigger than I would think if the radius is 10. If they're both 10 and they're distance 10 away from each other, they're basically overlapping. So I've got to have some distance between them. Right, okay. So in theory, there should be no movement. For entity 1, that's the duck. For entity 0, that's the rock. Okay. Let's see. If the rock falls again, I'm going to be completely baffled. Okay, so the rock hasn't moved. Great. Now, is the duck inside the rock still? Whoops. Okay, so the duck is not here. No, I'm just going to make sure the duck isn't flying off to infinity somewhere. It's hard to see. The duck has disappeared. Let's make 20. Let's say, I don't know, 0.2. I'm not exactly sure where this is, so... I'm just going to move back immediately just to see. Nope. Oh. Oh, oh, oh. Huh. He's going... Ooh. There he goes. This is making me laugh. This is so ridiculous. Oh dear, what is going on? I don't understand why it's moving. That's the confusing part for me. I feel like I would need to set up some... Like, how do I set the position without setting up the velocity at the same time? I still think it's gravity. Okay, let's confirm that, right? If I add a... how do I fix this? I need more... I'm going to add more objects. I'm going to add a bunch of rocks randomly around the scene. I'm only going to worry about one rock, but that's going to give us a frame of reference to see how far something is up, down, left, right from anything else, right? Because right now it's a bit confusing. Like, is it moving up and to the left? Is it moving down? Is it accelerating to the ground based on gravity? Is a good question. I don't know. What we can do is just generate a bunch of rocks. Assuming they don't move. I'm not even going to add any collision detection to them, so I'm not even going to add like any I'm not going to add anything to them. I'm just going to literally put them in a random position. It is going to make it a little difficult to figure out what is what, but it's fine for now. Yeah, we need a size of... Let's go with 500 for now. So the first two, and I want to do... What do I want to do here? Start at index 1? 2, I think. Yeah. This is where it's so super hacky, but we need to have the others not be related to... Right. Okay. Oh. What are you complaining about? Nothing. Oh, I bet they've all got the same position, haven't they? Where are the rest of the rocks? It's possible I'm not updating them properly. Yeah, ignore the IntelliSense errors. I don't know exactly know what it's talking about, to be honest. IntelliSense. Let's see. So new position. Size of matrices. Have I not made this? Yes, which is the size of this. Yeah, it's total docs. Everything's the size of this thing. We have a random number generator. I'm using rand because, you know, who cares? It doesn't need to be super random. So we have this for position entity 1 and 0. Yeah, what is the size then? Yeah, 500. Right, it's not update physics then, for a minute. I don't know if it's going to barf because I've set up some physics. I'm just a bit confused why we're not seeing lots of rocks. I reckon the radius is really small. If the radius is really small... No, the radius is big. The model scale? Yeah, see, originally the model scale was not this, it was 10. Ooh. I just can't tell if I'm rendering the same rock on itself over and over again. I might be doing that because of the new position. Give me a second. If I just get rid of this, it's very possible that we're going to see everything in the right place. So we'll see. .f, .f, .f. No new position updates, and yeah, we'll just run that, and we'll change the music after this. What is going on? Oh yeah, music. There we are. This is like a 20-minute track. Okay. Yeah, playlists on YouTube aren't behaving very well today. Go to another random track. Right, I'm just going to click on something. Quarter of time played on a sitar. That'll do. Hopefully YouTube will stop behaving. Anyway. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm trying to figure out... Alright, I'm just going to restore back to where I was. It's a bit loud for me, that, to be honest. Let's turn it down. Right, let's put this back. When in doubt, go back to what you were doing prior. And I even just had this at like this. I constructed it like that. What the heck? Oh, we're updating everything. Yes, okay, so we're not using the physics simulation, we're just kind of adding a value to, so that will accelerate, but I assumed we would be seeing more rocks. What have I done wrong? Does it ever go in here or something? Yep. What's I value? Yes. Okay, so it is doing stuff. The value is different every time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get stash or equivalent of. Can you get stash one file? That'd be nice. I just need to get back to baseline. No, I'm going to copy and paste over. Yeah, because I don't want to change stuff I did in physics. Yeah, okay, so I'm a bit confused. I need to get back to baseline. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy... stick this here. I'm going to go into our GitHub. And we're just going to copy and paste over with the layers commit. Nope, not the Hikaru challenge. So this is the project. If anyone's new watching, this is my project on GitHub. It should be linked in the description. I'm currently on the space branch, so any changes that you're going to be seeing are going to be updated in the space branch. Yeah, so we're just going to grab this. This is called manual merging. Right, okay, so we should be back to a sane baseline. I'm not exactly sure what the state of physics usage was in at this point. I don't think it might not exist, just fine. Okay, give that a build. Right. So we should see rocks. Or a crash. For a read access violation. It's possible that I'm doing something. Right, okay, so physics does exist. I need to find that, where this is. Alright, so I'm not initializing anything, so it's just gonna barf. Yeah, I'm trying to use stuff that wasn't initialized in this version of the file. It's assuming like an older version of physics, this file, so. Okay, so this is what we want to see, but we only want to see one thing moving. So let's continue on this assumption. Well, so what I'm going to do is reserve a space. I'm going to open up this in text, in a different text editor so I don't get confused. And we're going to grab some of the stuff that we did to initialize bodies and stuff. And then we're going to stop moving everything the way that we were doing before. And hopefully we just get one object moving. And if gravity is being simulated when it shouldn't be simulated because we're in space, well, I mean, okay, that was kind of dumb. In a video game, we kind of want to fake physics. We don't actually want actual gravity in physics. Sorry, in video games. Yes, I am aware that gravity works in space. Yes, I've seen it. I've been taken up to space in a space helicopter, and I can be rest assured that yes, I could see gravity working on my space helicopter. So, yes, I hope no one. I'm going slightly insane to anyone who's watching. No, I'm chill. So we just need the body ID, and we should be good. So yeah, we're just going to reserve. We're going to remove the. Yeah. Everything's going to be a rock apart from one thing, which is going to be a duck. So we're going to have one duck. Ah, I wonder if that was the issue. I bet I left that out. I have a bad feeling that I left that out. So yeah, we're going to make everything rocks again. Make America rocks again. Right, so then we go into our entity struct. Where have I stuck it? So everything's in main at the moment because I haven't really designed the architecture yet, and I think prematurely designing an architecture that when you don't really have an idea of what the game's going to look like /B isn't a great idea. So this needs to start at 2. We need to turn off the movement that was just debugging something. And let's pray that we have rocks and one dock and nothing moving. But rocks all over the place. Not just one rock. And right, yes, of course. So because we're in the older version of where's physics? Yes, we need to initialize physics. And we need to shut down physics. So yeah, re-implementing this is not... I'll grab the deletion code that we did earlier. In fact, I'll just grab all this. Paste it over what I was just about to do. So we shut down the models, we shut down the entities, and destroy the bodies at thingy time. So now we shouldn't get a compilation error, I don't think. Sorry, a runtime crash based on a read access violation because things weren't set up. Okay, great. The problem is the duck is so much smaller than these rocks that I think it's going to be inside a rock. The problem is which rock. Where is this duck? Hey, I've invented a new game. Find the duck. If I can't find it soon, I will just leave and move the duck somewhere. Ah, there it is. Okay, so the duck is not moving. Great. And it's this rock that we're concerned with, which is smaller than everything else. That looks of things. Okay. $5 trillion downloads. Yes. Find the duck of the game. 5 trillion downloads for that game indeed. Can I sign you up and your family for a copy there, Ratchet? Alright, again, it's going to crash on close because I'm clearly not doing something right. Okay, so now we at least can have a frame of reference if things are going up or down or left or right based on position change. Interestingly enough, the position here is 2. You'll take mine, start. Yeah, brilliant. Reserved, got you. We'll virtually handshake on this. But yes, okay, cool. What's next? If I'm making... give me a second. I think I'm... So entity 1 is duck. Why have I made it non-active? Shouldn't this be the other way around? Like, don't active? I think that was just a copy and paste mistake from a previous, and this should be not moving. Yes, okay. Right. So I want to put the dock in a different place. And it not move. So 2... We at least have some indication that the rock that we're dealing with that's going to be colliding is smaller than the rest. Because it doesn't have a scaled vector. Alright. So the duck is in this rock here, I believe. If it's in a rock at all. Right. Ah, okay, so the reason I hadn't moved is because the physics simulation isn't active. And I'm also not updating the... One, I'm not updating the physics, and two, I'm not updating the positions in the shader where things are rendered. So we need to do both of those things for anything to remove at all. We'll have the option of moving. And yeah, I'm just going to, again, grab stuff that we did prior. Where is it? Right, okay, so it's commented out, but yeah, this at least helps us with the commented out stuff. So this gives us the position, the center position of the sphere. Then we just need to get the new position. It's kind of redundant, but whatever. New pos. I know this is slower, but again, in the grand scheme of things, this is all going to be ripped out anyway, so... Y, Z, and Y, Z. So, hopefully we either get the duck not moving or the duck moving. What I don't want to see is all the rocks moving. That would be really confusing. I'm praying that we're not going to get some weirdness. The problem is we've got 500 ducks. Alright, okay, so I'm going to have to build some special case code here. Which, again, we won't ever use because we have geometry that's not part of the simulation. So if I is equal to 1 or I is equal to 0, then we do this. The reason that the body entity doesn't exist for any other type of geometry that we've drawn. So we would get like a null pointer of read access violation, I think. Because the body from index 3 onwards doesn't exist, because it hasn't been created. I mean, we could create 500 bodies, but for now I just want to work with 2. So this is fine. So the first 2 will have bodies that are valid. So we will be able to update the position. If not, it'll just be 0, 0. Okay. Oh, you know, I forgot to do. Yeah. Yeah, let's actually update the physics. Where should I put this? About here, I think. Just after the physics. Dot update physics. Just make sure this isn't anywhere else. No, it just comes out up there, which I'll delete. Alright. Cool. Okay, that's... I think you might be right, it might be gravity. Why did everything else move? Good question. Wish I knew the answer. The new position shouldn't have anything else in it. It should be 0. Oh, wait. I think I need to reinitialize it because yeah, okay. Right, okay, silly mistake. It needs to be cleared out every single frame. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, let's updated position maybe. I'm running out of things to call it. So 0.f. Actually, this needs to be outside the thing. Dr. Eggman added gravity. Added the gravity he did. God dang it. You can't keep getting away with this. Right. Okay, so updated position. Now that shouldn't... So effectively another entity's position was affecting a previous entity's position in the array that I was looping through. Hello. Wojek. Yay. Okay, so 100% that duck is being affected by gravity. There is no... Right. We're trying to find out why a duck is moving a particular way. Hopefully you can bear with us. I'm trying to add some physics. And it looks like I've had to add a bunch of rocks into the scene so we can actually see which way a position of something is moving. And it looks like we have gravity turned on. The question is, how do I turn it off? That was a good call, Ratchet, by the way. Thank you. How do I turn off gravity? How do I even turn on gravity? I don't even know how I did that. I don't understand any of this. What library? Don't worry about it. It's I'll try and show you a little bit, I guess. Let me show you what's going on. I think it was a bit poorly explained because I had no visuals. So effectively, when we have a position, this is job, by the way, and Vulkan for rendering in C++. So when we have, oh, you see that there? This guy? That's a rubber duck that's falling due to gravity. I don't want gravity to be affected because I'm trying to build like a little space game where you can fly around in space. So it assumes that we're on Earth and the duck is falling. Yeah. It's a great library. I just don't really know how to use it very well. So it's user error on my end. Right. So. Thank you. Impressive work. I wonder if I have to make this a kinematic. Only affected by velocities, does not respond to forces. Responds to things under normal force. I wonder if that's what I'm actually after. I don't know how it works in collision detection because everything uses dynamic, but... Right, let's see. Let's go, so... One moment. Right, okay, so the duck is not moving. It's stuck inside this rock. Cool. What specs rendering? That must be heavy. It's actually relatively simple, this scene. I'm not doing any culling, which I should be doing, and there's a bunch of other stuff, a load of optimizations that I need to add into this engine. But my specs are a 4070, and that's only because I wanted to use, an NVIDIA 4070 RTX graphics card. And that's only because I wanted to have access to mesh shading, which I'm not even using at the moment. But this type of scene could be rendered in pretty much, I don't know, a 680 GTX NVIDIA graphics card. It's quite a simple scene because the geometry is quite low and the textures are quite small and the materials are quite simple. So for the most part, it's pretty simple. But because I'm using Vulkan, we have more access to optimizations that we can make, which is cool. Yeah, you could render it on the PlayStation 2, to be honest, 100%. My scene is quite simple, but, you know, with the fact that I'm using my own game engine, I do have the fact I can, and Ratchet's the same, by the way, he's in chat, he's also a graphics programmer. You know, we both have access to, because we're not using a game engine, we can add really nice effects and cut corners and or make everything really complicated and really nice. I've not watched someone live in a while, and being responded to directly feels surreal. The world has progressed a lot. Yeah, there you go. I know what you mean. I've clicked on live streams before, thought I'll just say something silly because no one's going to pay attention to me, and then I say something silly and then everyone's like, and then the stream is like trying to earnestly respond to something I've said. You haven't done that, by the way. It's just you just reminded me of an experience when I did that. Yeah, so I do know what you mean. Anyway, kinematics. Let's add some forces. No, not forces. Linear velocity. That's exactly what we don't want to do because that's dynamic bodies. And let's go into this. Hi Lando, how you doing? So, yo, I'm working on a project. What's your thoughts? I'm remaking Walking Dead in Python. That's pretty sick. Is that the original? Which Walking Dead? Walking Dead. The Walking Dead. So it's the Telltale games, right? Which season 1? Okay, got you. Season 1 Walking Dead. I got it briefly mixed up with Resident Evil, but I know what you mean. So what game are you making? I'm making like a little space shooter game. It's just at the moment it's going to be like a little tech demo. I'll show people. Oh no, that is not. That is something else. Okay, ignore that. That is a different project. So yeah, I'm gonna make like a little shooter, float around. It's gonna be very simple, nothing crazy, but yes. I'm trying to add physics to the simulator. As you can right now, just go through rocks. I want to be able to like do, you know, make it so that you can interact with the world, that kind of thing. You have class now, no problem. Thanks for turning up, even just for a small amount of time and talking in chat. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for saying it's cool as well. Landolian FN. You have done a couple of Unity projects. Nice. Right. Okay. So let's lock in for a minute and add some velocity. Where did I put the velocity code? There it is. So this is just an old version of the source code that I was messing with earlier. And hopefully we have a dock that moves in a direction that doesn't respond to gravity, excuse me. In a way that makes sense. Right, I'm also actually, before we do that, let's change the position of the dock. I just want to I want to see it not fall like we're on Earth. Let's see. So hopefully there's a dock just floating around, or not inside the rock, off to the side a little bit. Okay, it's moving. But let's just see how it's behaving. Is it falling? Okay. I don't understand why the position moves it. It's like added a force to it. I just want to move the position, not... I mean, I can move the position myself, but I don't know if the collision geometry is moving with this docks. I was gonna do that, but I tried to learn game dev back in 9th grade. Oh, right, okay, yeah. In your video about how much programming you did, how did you track that? Like how many hours? Okay, good question. In that video, I used something called toggle track, so I can pause this right now because we're not programming. And this is how I've timed myself for nearly probably like over a year now. And I then put it in a spreadsheet in Google Spreadsheet. Which if I just hop over, I don't think anything in my emails is extremely sensitive. Like I'm not leaking anything here. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to show you guys. Like, then I kind of add up all the times. Yeah, so that website, I don't rely on it 100%. I just kind of copy and paste the times in here, add them up over time. So yeah, that's how I knew like how many hours I worked in a year and what my average was, because you know, just a bit of Excel magic, you know, a bit of Excel maths magic to add everything up. This is just like a gamification of it as well, just like a bit of ranks, you know. This is just for me. I ripped off Rocket League and said it takes 4,450 hours typically in Rocket League to get to the highest rank in the game. And I was like, you know what? If I can get to the S rank, which would be technically the pro rank if you follow Pro Rocket League or whatever, it takes roughly around that long. So yeah, that's why I started timing myself. I was like, can I get to that number in my lifetime? On top of what I've already done already, so... yeah. Wow, that's really sick. I was really annoyed when I couldn't see how much time I'd spent in Unity. Yeah, it's a really good idea, I think, in my opinion. If you're that type of person, I'm going to do this. Go ahead, I love it, yeah. It's a good way to keep yourself responsible. For example, you can see on Friday, I only did 23 minutes. And that can be like a good question to ask, because like, what was going on here? Why was this not very good? And you can scroll down to like, you know, when I coded for 11 hours and studied for 7 hours and coded for 4 hours. Like, this is a really good day. Like, what was good about this? It really helps you like keep yourself responsible, and that's for me anyway. It's not. I know it's not for everyone. So, can I maybe add you on Discord? Sure. I got a dip. Yep. Okay. Yeah, you can add me, of course. There is a Discord for our community in the description of the live stream. You should be able to join it. If not, just let me know and I can always fix that for you. It is this guy here, so if you want to join, yeah, feel free. You know, everyone's very welcoming here, so we will often talk about graphics though, so beware. Right, okay, so forces are getting added when the position is updated. I think I don't understand this creation of this body. It's not letting me join for some reason. No, it's probably... I don't understand how Discord works, to be honest. What I'll do is I'll make a new invite for us all. I'm glad you said something, because this has happened before. It's not you. How do I... Oh yeah, I've got to disable stream mode. Let's... Nope. No limits. I want to say no limit for time. Generate new link. Copy. So I'll paste this in the chat so you guys can click on it and join. And where's the chat on my screen? Here we go, guys. yeah, give that a try and let me know if that works. And if not, I can always come back and try and fix it again. Haha, brilliant. Yeah. But everyone's always welcome. You know, feel free to join. Again, if that doesn't work, I'll just. But yeah, let's lock in again. Yeah, it's no hassle on my end to help you guys join a community. You know, I'm always happy to have more people in. Anyway, right. So I want to figure out what this is actually doing here. So I'm probably going to read some documentation. Not just the comments. I think I'm gonna head over to the. These are my notes. So I have some notes on Jolt, which is the physics engine, and getting started with Jolt. The documentation is here. Go to latest. Hopefully I can search for this name. No, that's my Discord link. We won't find much there, will we? It worked. Brilliant. Make it extremely optimized. That is the plan. I'm glad it worked, guys. Yeah, anyone can join, no problem. Yeah, don't always if there's something like that in the stream, like like the music's too loud or I'm too quiet, you know, always let me know, because some of the stuff I can't actually fix because I don't know it's an issue. Anyway, so we are interested in this. What is it called? Yes, this. We want to see what this is in our jolts. Cool. That's what I'm interested in. Yes. Okay, so it's the setting for making a rigid body. So in position, this is what I thought it was, right? How do I set the position of the body? Playtest it. There is no way to playtest it at the moment, but you can always playtest it. Just what this game won't be published for a minute, but you can definitely playtest it and play some of the things I've made in the past. I have I don't know if I should share this, but it's a terrible itch.io page of various things that I've made in the past. This is probably my most up-to-date game, but it's not really a game. You kind of just walk around. If you're interested, I'll post that in the chat. This is like an old version of the engine. So if it doesn't work, I apologize, but we are moving on from this. But if you want something to play and something to, you know, toy with and just see what's up with things, I'll post that as well. But if you want more updates, keep track of my GitHub. Sorry to promote myself so much, but I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So you'll see updates on my GitHub, and I will in my Discord post, you know, people who are interested. Here's the game to download, which I'll probably post it in announcements. So yeah, if you join the Discord, which I linked in the in the chat as well, you can keep track of what we're doing and stuff like that. So, you know, you can keep track of everything like that. Yeah. Okay, so right, let's go to Jolt Physics. I am interested in figuring out what the in position is doing. So the in position is adding some kind of. I mean, I could just construct it default and kind of just add. How do I set the position then? Set shape. End position. Public. Oh, these are public attributes. Right. Set linear. Okay, so I want to set the position, but I want to set the linear velocity to something else. And these are public attributes, so I should hopefully be able to edit these. and set the position and set the velocity to a different, that's different than position. And yeah, let's give that a shot, shall we? Body ID. How do I want to do this? So this is the, oh, hang on. I'm editing the body settings, right? So velocity, position. So the position I'm going to say is to the, yes. And the velocity is going to be different. I'm actually going to set this to 0. I wonder if I can construct this with a kind of like that. Because I don't want the duck to move, but I want it to be in a different position. Let's, I don't know, put this at 5. Okay, let's see. So we create the body with velocity at 0. Okay. Is it still in the rock? Huh. Don't think it moved. So the reason it's always in the rock is because we're at 0, 0 position. So this rock is at 0, 0 position and the duck is at 0, 0 position. Right, okay. Yes, it is still crashing. On close, which is fine for now. Oh, I'm a doofus. I set the position twice. Velocity. Wait, what is it called? The documentation? Oh, linear velocity. Linear. And this is a kinematic. Oh no, go back. I just want to make sure this is 100% correct, so I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to throw this in. Linear velocity equals 0. Okay. So the position should be in a different place. And yeah. And because we're updating it. Okay. Okay, the duck is still moving. Let's try doing an R value for arguments. So we set the position in a different place. It might be setting the velocity or something. Let's see. Yeah, weird. It's a moving kinematic. It's active. Let's see. Alright, I'm just going to think for a minute. So we set the position that has the same effect as updating the velocity. Okay. Okay, when was I ever update the velocity then? 4, which would be gravity. I don't know if it's negative or positive, I'm not exactly sure. There's not either go up or down. I wonder if it's a second order. Is that accelerating or... Oh, where'd it go? Is it accelerating? It feels like it's getting faster. Yeah, I think it is. I think that's accelerating. You downloaded the Lost Souls games and not opening. I'll debug that quick for you as well. So when you download this, it's a zip file? I'm not sure. So you should be able to extract it like that. Where is it? And it should look like this with like a little logo. Now this doesn't work on every single AMD CPU that I tested it on, but If it works, it should stay black for a minute while it's loading. And then, once it's loaded, it should then boot up. And then escape or close will close the window. Hopefully that works, I'm not sure. If you've got like an AMD CPU, unfortunately there are some cases where it doesn't work. GPU, my bad. CPUs are fine. If it's a Windows computer, it has to be Windows, by the way, unfortunately as well. I am working on this engine. This engine does work on Linux. It stays black and closes. Sorry about that. You can. I don't have. At the time, I didn't have any error checking. I can. My goal is to kind of get rid of these type of issues in the future, because I realized like I made a bunch of little mistakes that added up over time for this to happen. So I'm going to say hold out on running this game, and there will be a better game in the future. I promise, Dom. Is that? I know it's not. I know it's not an ideal answer, but there will be a better game that you can play, and it will work on your computer. I promise. I will get it to work, no matter what. So sorry that it doesn't work for now, but there will be better games to come. If I can get this dog to work anyway, hey. Yeah, let's move on with this song as well. No, actually, I really like it. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Right. So velocity is updating like its acceleration, and position is updating like its velocity. Because I don't know. Yeah, there's some. Yes, I didn't code some stuff very well back in the day. The biggest thing I made was I made it so it compiled shaders. Sorry, going back to the Lost Soul demo thing. I made it so I was compiling shaders on other people's computers. That's not a good idea, unless you're having a Minecraft moddable type game, where you can modify shaders and stuff. In that case, you can't modify. Well, you can technically, but you've got to know what you're doing. It's just like that led to a lot of mistakes, in the sense that there's a lot of different computers that it never worked on properly, and it was hard to debug. Like, it worked on some computers and it didn't work on others, and I didn't have any error checking, so there was no like window like this so you could even tell me what was going on. So in the future I wanted to get it working on Linux as well, and for playtesters like Dom might want to be, I also want to have it so that you can actually tell me if something doesn't work. Anyway, yeah, that's part of that video where I talk about like how long I've been coding in a year or whatever. Why is this accelerating? So we have a contact listener, we have body interface. I'm so confused. Why is velocity position and position... No, why is position... Position should be position, not velocity, and velocity shouldn't be acceleration. No, it's not the center of mass. We don't need to move the center of mass around. That would just change the property of how the physics interacts with other things. Shape setting, shape. What is the difference? They seem the same. I'm going to try it with shape instead of shape setting, maybe. and just see how that goes. Right. So shape setting. No, it's just a shape. Sphere shape? Is that a shape? I assume this isn't a shape setting. Yeah, it's a shape. Okay. We have a shape. We have position. We have kinematic. It's moving. Its position should be position, in my opinion, not velocity. I think a real giveaway if this is actually acceleration will be making this extremely small and seeing how fast it speeds up. That'll be a big giveaway, because you know it'll start off incredibly minor and then accelerate to the moon. So we should see, yep. Yeah, I think that's going up more than it is now to the left. Yeah, that's accelerating. Alright. This is definitely a user error. This isn't something I've... Let's think. How would I solve this if I think there's a wish issue? And dynamic bodies automatically have gravity. Okay, so when we update physics, what is that actually going to do then? I think I just need to investigate this. So is the del time. So that's just a fixed 60 FPS type. We'll go back. Okay, so this is just 1/60. So this is this will be updating every was it 0.6? I can't remember. That'll be some kind of milliseconds, 0. something milliseconds. Oh, 0.16 milliseconds. Just remembered. Temporary allocated job system. Okay. So it has to be bigger than 0, obviously. And locks bodies. Because it's threaded. We're using one thread at the moment because I don't have a threading system. I could just throw an NQTS for that, but I want to do it better than I did last time. Okay, so if velocity is acceleration, it's like we're multiplying time twice almost. Just trying to think, like, why would position be velocity and velocity be acceleration? Velocity becomes acceleration when you multiply time by time twice. So the vector that you have in accelerates rather than just linearly updates. So is there something in the updating code that's causing that to happen? I think I'm using something like the update code or something like that wrong. Looks like it's time to write my own physics engine. Nah. Been there, done that. So I'm just going to look at the some of these values here because I want to figure out basically how is it calculating the what is it called? I've forgotten. It's how it integrates all the forces together. I think no, that's just. So what I'm looking for is it might disappear into some kind of threading, into a different thread, because this is built around threading, which is lovely. Part of the reason why I'm using it. It's like Vulkan in that sense, I guess, designed around threading to begin with. So yeah, we're just gonna integrating velocities until the position. So this creates a job, and it uses a predicate. So there's the broad phase update. So it's load. So create job. I'll go single threading for now because hopefully it's simpler to look at. Q execute. Is it going to tell us anything, or is this going to job? Yeah, but it's. I'm just hoping that we're not just going to get some generic lambda kind of function callback thing that disappears off with some. What I'm hoping to see is in this body, like when it actually gets the body, like, how does it add the forces? How does it do the dampening for the different physics states and stuff? Because then I'll be able to see if we're passing in. Because I'm questioning if we're running the physics update function too often, and that's why we're getting kind of like a consistent multiplication of the delta, which would be like how much things have changed by, like too many times, right? Like that's why like position is becoming velocity, because everything's already we're getting like a multiplication of time on position and then time and then velocity on time on velocity, so we end up with like acceleration. I don't think we're going to get anything here. What I'm going to kind of go back to is in the example code, which I'm kind of stealing a lot of my ideas from. It sets the velocity up, and then I wonder if we're getting the wrong data. I wonder if everything's working correctly and we're getting the center of mass position. And we should be getting the velocity vector, maybe? It's that's what. Okay, let's investigate that line of questioning where we think that this function call is doing something wrong. Like everything's correct, but we are getting maybe we should be getting the position, not the center of mass. And there's something about the center of mass which is causing velocity to become position and position to, and velocity become acceleration. So do we get acceleration out of the question? I think we do. That's disappointing. Yeah, that's going up more than it's going to the side. Okay. go into here. NH your own physics engine. Knit. What does it? What? I have to look that up quick. I need to be cool. I need to know what this means. Nope, absolutely no idea. What's NIH mean? National Institution of Health, your own physics engine. I don't think that's what you meant. I have to admit, this is not what I expected to get stuck on, but that's almost like every single stream, honestly. Can you explain the gameplay? Ah, sorry, I didn't see that. In this game, it's going to be quite simple. There's not going to be much going on. It's going to be basically a tech demo, but the idea is I want to make a game relatively soon. So I'm trying to keep it very small. You're basically going to be flying around, and I think I'm going to have you fly through rings or destroying rocks. It's going to be like an asteroid clone, but in 3D. I haven't quite decided exactly what you're going to be doing, but I want to see what's fun before I commit to an idea. So if flying through rings, for example, is like horrendous and I think it's terrible, then we're not doing it. If I think blowing up rocks is terrible, then that's not going to happen either. If it's too much work, because that might be a project that's going to take multiple years, I don't know. I want to kind of pump out something that's relatively simple and kind of, here's a game, go play, it's free, and then I'll make it like something better, right? Ah, you downloaded the file from if you want to play this game, you can compile it yourself. I did try to make it as simple as possible, but these are, I'm not sure how familiar you are with code, Dom, but you would need to compile this yourself, unlike the game that I gave you earlier, right? Although it didn't run. The thing is as well, this is going to be changing every single couple of days. And so to play this specific version of what I've got here, you're going to have to know a little bit about how to change to a branch in Git and have Git installed, and also have a bunch of other stuff installed like Vulkan SDK, which stands for Standard Development Kit. The reason I haven't released this at all is because it's going to be updated so frequently that there's no point of giving this to people to play yet. So unfortunately you've just got the source code, which means there is no way to actually play this at the moment. I could give out a compilation, but like I said, in 3 days from now it's going to be completely different. I could give you a tutorial on how to build this, but I'm not. Okay, I'll blast through it really quickly, just briefly for people who may want to use this. So you're going to have a program called Git. So when you type Git, something's going to have to come up, and you have to install that from a website. I'll be quick, guys, don't worry. I know some people who, you can install it or whatever. Then you want to type, you want to go in here into my GitHub page, go to space. No, don't go to space, it doesn't really matter. Go to this, grab this, copy. I'm going to go fast, so you can always come back and watch this. So git, and then you want to type clone, and then paste this in, right? what that's going to do is make a folder like this called void. Then you want to again open up the command prompt and type git checkout space, right? Cool. If you have that done, you now have to install CMake. This is CMake. If this is how I generate my project. You're also going to have to download Visual Studios 2026 community. You're also going to have to download Luna G SDK Vulkan. Okay. I know I'm going very fast, but this is the reason I'm going fast. And download the Windows one if you're on Windows. Download the newest one, it's fine. All these should work. Once you've had all these three things downloaded, you should then, assuming I've coded my things very, very well, run. Oh wait, this won't even work. I don't know why I'm telling you how to do this. I just forgot. So I'm so sorry, Dom. I've realized I'm not distributing the assets. I'm so sorry, Dom. I literally blanked on this. The reason again that I can't put these into Git. It won't let me. So even if you were to do what I just said, I apologize. I should have realized this. It's my fault. So sorry if you're upset by this, but all the art assets here will not be in the source code, so it won't work. The game won't work, even if you were to compile it. So unfortunately, I apologize, Dom. You can run this, but you would need to add your own assets, and that gets complicated because then you would have to edit the source code, and it would just be a big pain. I promise, Dom, that you will get a playable demo at some point, okay? But just not right now because I'm in the middle of it, right? Okay. So again, I apologize for even suggesting that you could build this because you can't, because you don't have the art assets. And I apologize. I didn't realize that was a thing. So okay, let's It's also possible that I'm getting the position here, right? And I'm updating the position and it's doing some integration or something. Right, I'm gonna yeah, sorry if you downloaded anything as well. I do apologize. That was you know, me being a idiot basically. Actually, I'm gonna make my life easier because I want to debug this. I wonder what the position is. I wonder if it's I'm just questioning if I'm not updating these things. So the position is that is this increasing? Oh, it is, but the interesting thing is, hang on a minute. I think I fixed it. What is this? I just need to build a translation matrix. No, map 4. I think I know what to do. Position. I don't know why this took me so long to figure out, but I think I know what's wrong. I am doing a double integration. That's why it's accelerating. I'm using two different, I'm using JOLs to update to position, and then I'm taking that position and then building up a translation, make translate matrix, which actually, instead of building a matrix that just takes the position, I think it translates the current position by a matrix, which is not what we want to do at all. So this means that I think this is what order is this in? Right, again, I'm going to be very... In fact, update position, we can throw this in here and get rid of this. Cut. Yeah, I just figured this out. So one, two, Y, Z. Sorry, I've done this before in my old physics engine where I double integrated. I should have caught this. That's what I should be doing. If assuming that I'm only care about translation, which I will for now, because we're not doing anything else. So this hopefully should just be. Oops, get rid of that. Assuming that I haven't broke something. Oh, it needs to be an identity. Hang on. Is this a matrix for? Yeah, it is. Equals GLMs map for identity. Yeah, we were just getting junk values because as people who program in C know that we don't initialize things. Okay, so that updates the position. Okay, let's just put all this inside this if statement. And I'm just gonna... I just want to see if this works. Because I'm updating every single thing to the same position, I think. That's why that's why we saw nothing other than that one rock. Hopefully we can do this without OpenGL Vulkan screaming at me. So hopefully we have a dock that's in a different position. Is that in the same position? That's not moving, is it? Okay, let's make that into a completely different position. It's possible that I've set up the... Okay, linear position. Oh, so that, I think that was correct. We saw tiny movements. Okay, this is actually going really well now. So I actually want to put the position in there. Get rid of this for a minute, and I just want to see if it moves, or if it's moved, even if it's inside the rock. Is that in the middle still? Alright, I'm just going to be aggressive. I have no idea. But it's not moving, which is good. That's a really good sign. Alright, position 50. Nope. Ugh, computer's now dead. Okay. Don't tell me it's in here again. No. God dang it. Okay. For now, we'll ignore that. I just want to see it do something normal. All right, let's try negative 10 for linear kinematic moving. I just want to see velocity, man. Okay, good. Oh, I'm a doof. I'm an idiot. I was updating the position, right? But I didn't update the position for it to draw. I've updated the collision geometry. but not the actual position of the what's drawn. They aren't the same. Where would 50 be, I wonder? Is it inside the rock again? What? Okay, so it is still updating, but... I had to make this huge last time I did this. Okay, it's over here. And it's going down. Oh, we did it finally. Flipping heck. Okay, so it's updating properly. What I actually need is, now I need to get the... Okay, so everything's making sense again. What we need is the... Instead of just getting the X, Y, and Z, based on the position, I want to get the whole matrix. Because then we can get the rotation and everything else that comes with it. Like, get position's great, but I would love to see get transform or something. Get center of mass transform. Okay, so both of these... Huh, move kinematic. Okay. Right, obviously that's going to return a matrix of 4, 4, which is good. And now I need to convert between... So we want the same thing again, but this time, instead of just updating the velocity part of the matrix, we want everything. I also need to check how to get at the values in here. Like, what is it stored at? It's unfortunate it's using its own data structure, but hey. So we have privates. Column 4, okay. Where's the data in this matrix stored? I assume this means S, set rotation. Oh no, it's static, okay. Yeah, so when we're constructing, how does this work? Two, three, four. So it stores 4 column vectors. Yo, the big goose, the big loose goose. How you doing, dude? Hope you're having a good day, my man. Currently just trying to figure out how to convert between one formats of data to another. So that's what we're trying to investigate at the moment. Because this library uses a different file format. It uses a different data structure. My apologies to what I'm familiar with. So trying to access it. So mcol takes these. Okay, so it takes 4 vectors, and they are column vectors. So I'm completely fine with making this public so I don't end up going insane, but because I want to access this data and I don't know how to get at it. Because we do have different things. I mean, I could just get the individual column vectors, maybe. I'll just do the simplest for now. And you're public, I think. Yes, you're public, because I don't care about API access and things like that. So it's going to be scruffy, but here we are. So this is going to get the 4 vectors. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to get a vector. I will eventually make this so it's not using this horrendous conversion. And yeah, we'll vec4. So hopefully that's no, it's not. What is the matter? Oh, we can't copy. I bet we can't copy, can we? Yeah, of course. Like, why we didn't know what to do. We can hopefully construct it with the value. Test. Yeah, that's how we got to do it then. Test 1, test 2, test 3. 1, 2, 3. Oops, 3. Okay, so now we have access to these. And I will then fill up my position matrix myself with a 1-to-1. So these are columns. I believe this is also column major, which would mean, what does it mean? It doesn't matter, to be honest. I can easily change it. So get X. Ugh, this is so horrendous. 1, 2, 3. Oh, get W. I assume is 1. W. Y. Z. Cool. I want to try Game Engine Dev myself, so I just want to hang around on streams like these in hopes of learning something, perhaps by osmosis or some shit. Yeah, it's brilliant. I find myself doing the same. Honestly, I often lurk in other people's game dev streams. We do have a little Discord if you are interested in joining and talking about game engine development. The link in the description has ran out of time or something. I'm not exactly sure. So if you are interested, Mr. Goose, Mr. Loose Goose, I will post that again. I think this works. This should work for you if you're interested. Yes, I do. Hi, AJ. I immediately left as soon as you... Well, you said I might come back and I had to leave. Hopefully you're having a good day, my guy. I think I'm having a good day. We are making progress, which is great. I have to admit, though, Goose, my coding right now is extremely demo-y, so don't take any inspiration on what I'm doing. What I'm doing is pretty heinous. I should be writing code, but I'm in the middle of testing something, so I really want to get it. I'm doing it in the laziest way possible. Yeah, so, it's one of these things. It's almost like do as I say, don't do as I do. Almost at this point in time, anyway. Because yeah, we are abusing a lot of things right now. Okay, so hopefully we have converted between one matrix and another matrix, and we have the transform, which means we get the linear updating stuff, which we already know what it looks like. So let's see what happens. Ooh. Let me check. Yeah, if it's buffering, I could go in my stream and see the stream health. Stream health. Excellent. It looks like it's on your end, AJ. Yeah, just give you a refresh. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. By the way, it's always good to check these things because, okay, yeah. So that's what it looks like. Cool. I'm back since summer. Great stuff. Ark. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, and thanks for all the reactions, guys, in the stream. I do notice those things. And we're just compiling because I changed something deep within the Jolt source code. Because I'm doing a lot of dirty tricks right now. What I'll do maybe off stream is have utility functions converting between... I'll write like utility functions converting between these Jolt types to my types that I use for rendering. So I don't have to do this ugliness, because this is ugliness as hell, dude. And it's very prone to a mistake. This could be the wrong order as well. I might have to rearrange these values. What did you achieve so far? What have I achieved so far since then? So for today anyway, we have figured out how to how to use a physics library. Basically, what I was doing. What was tripping me up at the beginning of the stream was I was doing something. I was double integrating. So that meant position became velocity, velocity became acceleration, and acceleration becomes jerk, because I was doing like I was integrating twice. And that was because I was using like two different functions to do some physics. Now we are at least aware that that's wrong. I noticed that was wrong, and we do have like well-behaving objects that now can start to collide with each other, which I'm excited to test. But first things first, we need to see if what I've done makes sense. And this is the duck that we're trying to collide things with, and hopefully it is... Okay, so it's moving down. So we did it. We've converted between one type to another successfully. It was column order. I did get the right values out. And cool. So yes. Now we have to start doing collision detection based on a kinematic move. I don't know why I remember Team Fortress 2. Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy looking game, right, at the moment. Better than a black screen, indeed it is. So, next step. I don't know what we're gonna do next to collide things, because I don't exactly know what the collision geometry is gonna be like. So, yeah. And again, thanks for the reactions, guys, for the stream. Thank you very much. And yeah, and also thanks for anyone who's tuned in. Thanks for chatting. And all that stuff's very nice and very much appreciated. Anyway. So we want to be colliding with that rock. The small rock does have some collision geometry. And moving down is not the way we need to go. We need to be moving the other way. So this is 0... Negative 200. Let's see how fast that moves. Okay, that's good. So what we're testing basically is once that duck hits this particular rock here, what happens? Let's see. Now, does this update? Oops. No. Okay. No problemo. We can make the collision geometry bigger. What's your name and where are you from? Ah, you're asking other people. The rock should explode, exactly. I do want something goofy to happen eventually, for sure. But what I want to see is at least, like, it does something kind of reasonable when we do this, so we can actually start building some kind of collision. I can probably make this a bit faster, actually. Now we aren't... Yeah, it's just double the speed. Yes, the models aren't solid at the moment. You have to when you're making your own game engine, you basically have to kind of add that yourself. So right now the ducks should pass through. I think it should print to this area here once there is a contact. Nope. Okay. We'll make the geometry bigger again by 100. I'll make this 100 as well. Yeah, what do I expect? A Big Bang? I hope. Yeah, that'd be cool. No, like some kind of printing to the screen. So, because I do have some contact listeners set up, which are listening for a collision detection. Whoops, I won't see anything if I can't see. No, okay. Right. It's possible that I'm not moving the collision geometry. Let's see. So this is a Hello World program, which I've mostly commented out for how to use the collision detection library. I'm just wondering if I missed something. Oh, hang on. I think I have made this not active. Yeah, I think I've turned it off. Hang on. I think it needs to be active. I think it's not taking part in the physics. Oh, you didn't answer me, sorry. What did I miss? Who are you talking to? Ark. Here we go, it's about to explode. No. No. Nothing happened. Disappointed. Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. Yeah, let's not delete. Oh, hang on. Let me fix something quick. Yeah, this is a bit of a random. I've never done this before with this collision detection stuff, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I can fix it breaking now on shutdown. Well, at least a little bit. There's only 2 bodies here, and there's 500 rocks that don't have any collision detection. So yeah, let's add these in. Let's tackle this. Delete this. Oops. And yeah, I just want to see on close. Does it spaz out basically? It is something else. I'm kind of curious now. What is this? New delete operator, release. And it's saying what? Invalid address. Do you destroy and remove in the other order? I thought you were I think I might be doing something wrong here. I think maybe I remember. I think when you destroy, you also remove. And I think I'm just double deleting, which is always bad in computers. Okay. Oh, no, I am supposed to remove something. Whatever. We'll leave that for a minute. See you later. See you, man. Have a good day, dude. Right. Collision detection. Let's see. Let's make these massive. I'm going to make these spheres so big that nothing can't collide with them. So that is huge. That is huge. They should collide. Static, non-moving. Yes, that's what I want. I don't want it to move. And I'll put it on the moving layer just in case. They're both active, one static. They both have different settings, different position. Okay. And they aren't. Yeah, okay. Let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I think there must be a collision detection happening, but I don't think it's reporting back anything. Okay, so let's go to the. No, I don't want to do that. This project has like how you're supposed to use stuff in it. I wonder if it makes sense to make a plane. Because if I have a plane, or a half edge, yeah, half edge, then there is no. Still though, I think sphere and sphere shouldn't be that complicated to figure out. Oh, my name? Oh, my apologies. Yeah, you can call me Escape Point. I go by Dan, but in real life, but I prefer my online handle. Yeah, Escape Point if you really must. But that's my father's name. Call me Escape Point. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that you. I thought you might be talking to someone else. Ugh. I'm not quite like super sensitive with my private data, private stuff, like how VTubers are, I guess. But yeah, I think it's more fun just to be by your using your own thingamajig handle. What's your name, by the way? Yep, create floor plane. I want to see how this is done because I'm missing something, I think. Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for asking. So what am I having trouble with? You just joined. I am having trouble with collision detection, and oh no, this is the wrong project. My apology, my bad. Basically, I'm trying to collide two spheres together, and I want them to react, or at least tell me that they're touching. Right now, I can update the world with the physics library, physics engine I'm using, but this rock here, this smaller rock here, should have a sphere around it which collides with this dock, and yeah, the dock just goes through the rock and comes out the other side. That's what I'm trying to fix at the moment, and I think I'm missing something. I'm not doing something correct, basically, with this library I've picked up recently. I don't even mind if it prints to the console saying it's collided, but yeah. So hopefully that explains what I'm up to, and how I'm trying to solve this is I'm using an example here to help me figure out what to do or how I should be doing something. So yeah, we're going to be tackling this for a small period of time. And yeah, I'm going to try and do some stuff off stream, which I've kind of done a bunch of. There's a bunch of hacky code in here that needs to be improved. Sorry, in my project. So yeah, hopefully I'll explain stuff. No, it doesn't print. Oh, my bad. Okay, so the reason I'm called ESC point is it's a bit of a print. So it's like the escape key. So it just equals escape, right? So it's like escape point, or escape point. Sorry. Anyway, sorry about typing in chat. If you don't mind, can I see the implementation you're using? I've been having a similar issue with Collision. That's kind of similar. Oh, really? Okay. So right now I'm basically a noob when it comes to this stuff. So you're probably going to find 1,000 things. So what I've done is I've basically taken the Hello World program from Jolt. If you're a familiar with that, and I'm adding a bunch of. I literally haven't done anything that's different from the project. So I have like contact listeners here that just print the screen, and they're added in here and stuff like that. So this is like an instance of that class that we inherited from. But if you're familiar with Jolt, you're probably familiar with the Hello World program. And right now, when I update a kinematic object on a static object, they don't collide. I'm not entirely sure if it needs to be dynamic. Like, there's a lot of questions I don't know the answer to. I don't know if they both need to be active. I don't know if they need to be static. I don't know if they need to be on the moving layer and non-moving layer or what, So what I'm trying to dig up at the moment to help myself is, how does the sample project that does this, which you might be familiar with, general, simple, and then when I press play, like, how does that work? Right. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. If you do want a closer look at my project, my GitHub should be linked in the description. This is in the space branch, not the master branch, and the physics code is in source physics. You will be a little bit behind because this isn't committed, but it's more or less the same. You won't see anything out the ordinary, except for what's in master. I think master is too different that you won't be able to tell. So I've set up some body settings and then stuff like that. So this is the only stuff you really should need to like take a screenshot, I guess, if you have any ideas of what's going on. Anyway, yeah. Let's dig into this. Where's the actual application? Okay, so this is what they've done. Hi, hello. No, tripped over my words then. How do you learn C++? Start simple and make stuff that start simple. Make stuff that you're vaguely interested in, accept that it's not going to be complicated, and don't get AI at all to write your program. You won't learn anything. Yes, the AI will be able to write the code that you're trying to do at the beginning, but you'll never learn if you let the AI just write everything for you. So stay away from AI for now, and just try and make it fun. Try and get as much instant feedback as possible. So that means just make a project small, basically. So yeah, that's my advice. Oh, you just use physics and then just ran with your own stuff. I've done that in the past. I just thought it would be faster to to use someone else's for now. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a bit of a noob, I guess, compared to that. I mean, I have done collisions. It just took me like because I wasn't very good at programming at the time. It took me like 3 years to do anything in a like just collide a convex polygon with polyhedra with a half space. And I was just like, I don't want to go through that again. Yeah, good luck with you learning C++, man. Anyone can learn to code if they just stick with it long enough and don't outsource their thinking to AI, in my opinion. It's as difficult as reading. It's just the problems get harder as you get better. That's the only difference. What are you doing? Escape pointer, get handle. Yep, there we go. That's how you contact me in real life. Yeah, maybe I should have gone with escape pointer, maybe. But I like escape point. It's kind of like a pun, kind of. I originally went by a floating point online for a while, but no one understood what that was. I think it's a bit too niche. You know, trying to explain to people why am I called a floating point who don't program anything, and like having to explain how computers represent mantises. It was immediately people just their eyes glazed over. The only downside of escape point, or having your name as escape point, people call me Esc point a lot because a lot of people don't use keyboards anymore. They just use their phone as a computer, so they don't even know what the escape point key is. So they just think I've got like a random 3-letter acronym right next to the point. I'm making one static and one kinematic. So in this library, AMX, these libraries are in the rigid bodies are in 3 different states: static and dynamic, which seems to react to gravity, and I don't know how to turn that off, so I've kind of stuck with kinematic right now. And yeah, kinematic, which is just reacts to linear velocities. Dangling point is a good one. Update debug. Right, I'm just going to lock in for a sec, guys, so let me just read some code. Right, so constructs. Yeah, don't worry about chatting about it. I'm just letting you know. I'm just not going to read chat for a second. That's all. Yeah, no one should feel bad for. Oh, I know I distracted the streamer. No. It's all my fault if I get distracted. You know, I'm just grateful anyone's here and all. Okay, space do. Where's P? I want to see key P, I guess. Because that's actually when it starts, right? Oh, key period? Comma. are... What? Okay, so these are for the debug renderer. Okay, I kind of disappeared off into nowhere here. Okay, so update frame. This has got to be where things are updated. What is this? Draw physics, interesting. I wonder if I could do that. Draw bodies. That would give me an indication of where everything is. I do have the physics. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. That's quite interesting. Give me a second, gang. Let's see if I can draw the bodies, because that would tell me. Right. Alright, oh, yes, debug renderer. So I need to, okay, so this is going to be a bit complicated. An instance of debug renderer. Right. People call you null pointer because you're empty. So I'm not really sure, but I think that's exactly why the collision texture is not working. At least. Dynamic versus okay. No, it's a good. Yeah, it's a good suggestion. I'm not exactly sure myself, so what I can do is just make the collision geometry massive, change change the thing from kinematic to static, dynamic even, and see what happens. So these are huge, so I'm just gonna make it even bigger. I want the spheres to be like always overlapping no matter what, so it always collides. Intelligence, get out of the way. So dynamic. So this is gonna fall because of gravity. Oh. There we go. Let's see if it is falling. Because I was double integrating it. Nope. Oh no, it is. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so progress. Now I'm just gonna make sure it reacts with gravity in a way that I want to turn off gravity. I wonder if I could. Alright, it's 10^10 again. When I create this object, I wonder if I can say velocity equals 0 in the gravity direction. Like linear velocity equals this. So I've definitely turned off velocity. We're not doubly integrating now, so it shouldn't accelerate, but no, it's gravity. I wonder how you turn off gravity. I think I'm just going to Google that question. That's probably an easily Googled question. In Jolt, how do you turn off gravity? So it looks like kinematics don't get reacted to by static geometry at all. Right, does this exist? I don't trust this at all, but that might be a good starting point. Not good though. I want the right, this. Does this exist? Oh, there we go. Okay. Set gravity factor. Do I have to apply this to everything? Motion properties. And hi, Blue. Is that what you do? Physics system. You can do it to the whole physics system rather than physics. I'm going to write some notes today after this. I've learned a lot. This is the problem when you're starting out. It's kind of like everything's kind of is there a physics? Gravity. Go on, tell us. M gravity. Set gravity. Let's see. 0, 0, 0. Oh. 0.f. 0.f. Okay. No, I want no gravity at all. Because we're in space, so if there's gravity, I want forces to kind of figure it out. What are you? Why are you slowing down? Oh, okay. I applied a force once, and it's kind of like it's like I push something, isn't it, when it's dynamic? So it's slowing down. It's not kinematic. It's linear dampening. That's what's happening there. I just need to set the position closer, I think, for now. Let's say let's do half or something, and render it at the right place too. And I think tomorrow we're going to be having to work on rendering the collision geometry, because this is, I think, half the problem that's caused by this is due to the fact that I can't actually see what the geometry looks like. Is it going to collide at any point? Yes. Okay, cool. It collided. All right. Thanks, guys. Honestly, it's been really helpful having you guys around. You've helped me out so much today. So I'm going to write some notes on physics, Jolt, sorry. We've got some things to do about rendering what we can see, so we can actually see the size of the geometry, and then we can actually start doing something with the collision listener and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to head off, guys. I will see you tomorrow. So you just use a basic debug renderer with IMGUI. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind it being slow for now. I just want to see how big the geometry is, so I know how to wrap stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here because it's getting a bit my throat's getting a bit hoarse, and we made progress. Love you guys. Thank you guys. Anyway, if you want to join the Discord, you know, you can always join. I'll just hop over. Sorry, I keep dragging this out, but again, if you want to join the Discord, link is here, and I will see you all guys tomorrow, hopefully.